My name is Matthew Brown, and my goal for this video is to convince you to write on and publish content online. I have been writing and publishing content online for the last 3.5 years, mostly for other people. I've worked with over 100 clients at this point, but about 16 months ago, I started writing and posting online for myself. In that time, I've gone from having about 1,000 LinkedIn followers to 23,000. I have something like 6,000 email subscribers, 8,000 Twitter followers, and 500 YouTube subscribers. But more importantly, that has driven hundreds of thousands of dollars to my business and hundreds of sales calls, as well as a bunch of digital products that I've been able to sell to. And so I just want to convince you that writing online is powerful. And let me just tell you quickly my story. And then I'll walk you through. I have 7 people's stories, and I just see these as inspirational. There were a few stories early on that really inspired me to get started and get going. So hopefully this does the same for some of you. So I spent 5 hours. I wrote this post on X. This was actually back in 2020 or 2021. And I published it on a Saturday morning. At first, it didn't move at all. After an hour or two, I just thought, what a waste of time. And then there was a big account that commented on the post, and suddenly it started getting seen, and then it went viral from there. Got about 1.2 million views. And I remember, so that was a Saturday morning. That evening, I went to a football game, American football game. There were 60,000 people in the stadium. And remarkably, I had 20 stadiums full of people see my post that same day. That blew my mind. I realized there's something really powerful about writing ideas on the internet because you can get so much discovery and so many people can see your ideas. They'll test them. If they're compelling, they might take some sort of action. And that's what got me started. So after that, I was also reading a Nathan Barry blog post. I'll cover his story in just a moment. And he'd written 1,000 words a day. That was his commitment. He would write 1,000 words every day. He did it for, I think it was like 650 days in a row. And in that time, it completely changed his life. He made a lot of money, both from his writing and creating some books and courses. But he also built Kit, which is the software product that has now scaled to something like $40 million per year. And he built that in that time frame, and he got the first customers because of the audience he'd built through his writing. Anyway, it inspired me. And so I wasn't quite ready to commit to 1,000 words a day. I was running a different business at the time, but I said, okay, I'll do 500 words a day, no matter what. And I will do copy work. I'll hand copy great or iconic pieces of copy every day. And I did that for 6 months, and I kept my 500 plus word writing streak for 670 days in a row. That led to a multi-6-figure business. It's now crossed over $1 million in revenue several months ago. Worked with, at this point, over 100 clients, and writing has been a key part of all of it. So that's my brief story. It's changed my life for the better. And let's move on to another one. So this is Nick Huber. If you've seen him on Twitter, you might know him for his rage baiting. He's very good at making strangers on the internet very angry, which is, debatable as a marketing tactic. But in his words, these are a few things he said. He says he wouldn't sell his Twitter account for $1 million. It's the country club of our generation where all the deal makers, investors, and entrepreneurs interact. He's DM'd with billionaires. He's in group chats with people building media empires. Added 900 high net worth individuals to his deal distribution list. So he's raised a lot of capital from Twitter and now other sources as well, because he has a big email list, but it all started for him on Twitter. So these are some of his accomplishments. You can see raised over $20 million from my real estate deals, grew the company to over 30 employees, acquired 42 properties, earned over $1 million of side income online. Lots of impressions. And he wrote this some time ago. He's also bought a $50 million company since then, largely leveraging his Twitter network. So it's been extremely powerful for his life. So there's another one. Let's jump to Steph Smith. So I'm trying to share these, by the way, as much in their words as I can. So you can see here I've got some tweets that are linked. So this first one, it's crazy that one thing, one article, one connection, one job can change your life. My How to Be Great article just reached 100K and is the gift that keeps giving. It even landed me my job. True to the article, you never know what will hit. So you just have to keep going. So she wrote this article. It ended up blowing up. And although I'm sure it wasn't her intention to land a job from it, that ended up happening. That's just, you increase your luck surface area when you write online. This was a tweet she made when she hit 100K in sales with a book that she created. This was when she hit 300K in sales. This was the breakdown. You could see there's a couple of different digital products or books that she was selling. And you could see here, she said, I'm debating on no longer sharing these numbers. They seem a little bit less relatable. Anyway, audience growth over time. So she shows how her audience grew over time. Let me actually just click on this for you because I think it'll be interesting. So you can see here, it's a little bit cut off. This is 20,000, 40,000, 60,000. And then over here, this is just monthly. And this is her growth, monthly growth. And so, things take time. That's the point I wanted to make there. Nathan Barry. Oh, by the way, Steph Smith is also, her career has just continued to accelerate, and you could say a large part of it is because of her personal brand, her audience, and a lot of people know about her because she's put herself out there. Nathan Barry. So I kind of told you his story briefly, but he committed to 1,000 words a day. This was in 2012. So he wrote a chapter for iOS applications. Let's see, 2013, he launched his book Authority. He launched a paid community. He kept the 1,000 words a day. He grew his email list from 5,000 to 15,000. He launched ConvertKit. He made $256,000. Continued his writing streak the entire time. 2014, made it to 650 days of an unbroken 1,000-word writing streak. That's pretty amazing. I beat him. I got 670. But he beat me a total word count because my minimum was 500. He made $300,000 this year, which he mentions in this blog post that he did. It was very meaningful for him. You can see how it breaks up. He has it all visually displayed. I think a pie chart's much easier to read than exactly what happened here throughout the year. But you can see here the software made about $3,000 a month. And then the rest of this is his digital products and stuff that came from writing. From there, he really leaned into ConvertKit because he saw that's where the potential was and has since blown up. Nicholas Cole. So this is a picture. It's a little bit blurry, so I probably should have picked a better one. But regardless, this is his story. So he started way back in 2007. Was a big gamer. So World of Warcraft blog. That's where he started building his chops. Then when he went to school, he studied fiction writing and he started writing his first book. Got a copywriting job straight out of college. And then he committed to publishing his own stuff online again. And so he started writing one Quora answer per day and blew up, got featured in Inc. magazine. I think he became, 2015, the number one Quora writer with tens of millions of views. He sold his first digital product ever called Skinny to Shredded, which he made $5,000 on. He then quit his job and went full-time with his own writing. He became an Inc. columnist and made some money with that. He published his book, which he spent a few years working on. And from that point, he began ghostwriting, co-founding a company called Digital Press, which this was not writing for himself, but it was writing for others online. And so he just used that same principle that he'd been practicing for years and scaled it to over $2 million in annual revenue, launched another book. And from there, he really leaned into his own content again, launched several new companies with that, and has scaled multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses and has hundreds of thousands of followers and multiple books. So that's like the quick summary, but writing online has kind of been that through line with his career. All right, Syed Balki. So I don't know if you know who this is. He has a WordPress empire. So the quick version, he moved from Pakistan with no money. He built a 9-figure WordPress empire before he turned 30. Very impressive guy. A couple of details. These are paraphrased in his own words. So he's making good money. He wrote blog content, got traffic, got paid from affiliates, ads, and various services. And Andrew Warner in a Mixergy interview was asking him, how are you able to balance it? Lots of consultants will create content. They'll get clients and try to become an authority, but then they get so busy fulfilling on those clients that they stop creating content. Traffic dries up. And Syed just says that, first off, content didn't take him a ton of time. He got good at it because he did it a lot. And it would take 30 to 45 minutes to write an article. Some of the articles I wrote weren't the most popular ideas, but I wrote them anyways. I made a disciplined routine of 1 post a day, 5 days a week. And that consistently brought new customers in the door and drove traffic. It's not as easy nowadays to get the same type of SEO traffic that you could maybe when he was starting, but the platforms change. Now you can do the same thing on LinkedIn to drive traffic. Then this is my friend. I've partnered on him with some digital products that we've done together, Daniel Bustamante. Really inspiring story. I'll just read it to you here. 5 years ago, I was so broke I couldn't afford a Snickers bar. Then one cold DM changed my life forever. Here's the story. I started writing online, specifically on Twitter, back in 2020. I had no idea what I was doing, but I'd always enjoyed writing, and there were a bunch of interesting people sharing their ideas. So I thought I could try to do the same. Around the same time, a guy called Dickie Bush had also just started writing there. One day he put out a tweet asking if anyone would be interested in a 30-day writing challenge. I loved the idea, responded saying I was in. A few days later, he was part of the first Ship 30 for 30 cohort ever. It wasn't really a program back then. It was incredible. He liked it so much that when Dickie said he was going to do it again, Daniel immediately joined. After finishing that second cohort, he realized that Ship 30 was about to blow up. And first cohort, there were 50-ish people, but in the second, this number had already doubled. Everyone in our Twitter bubble was talking about it too. Plus, I noted at the time, but Nicholas Cole, the guy I just showed you, was about to partner up with Dickie too, so I armed myself with courage and sent Dickie a cold DM offering my help. I didn't know exactly how I could help, but I knew I wanted to. No financial expectations at all. And Daniel became the first Ship 30 and PGA, which is a program they later launched, team member. Then over the following 4 years, ran over 20 of those cohorts, launched dozens of other products, started a new product called PGA, and scaled that. In the process, he got a world-class education on copywriting, email marketing, no-code automation, and digital business building. As a result, his income literally 100x'd. And the craziest part is, instead of paying to learn all this stuff with a bunch of courses, he got paid to learn these skills as an employee. Obviously, in hindsight, this sounds kind of genius, but the truth is, I didn't really plan any of this. However, you can take this insight and use it to reverse engineer a similar roadmap for yourself. So the couple points he makes, you're a cold DM away from changing your life, take more shots, optimize for learning, not for pay first, skills compound faster than money. And then 3, play the online game. It's 100 times easier to get lucky. And ultimately, that's the idea that I wanted to share is you're just going to get luckier if you're posting your ideas online. Customers will come to you, partners will come to you, opportunities that you couldn't have otherwise thought of will come to you. I've been able to communicate with some professional athletes, some famous authors, some business people that I really look up to, all because I put myself out there online. So highly recommend giving it a go, whether it's on Twitter, LinkedIn, Substack, YouTube, or elsewhere. Takes some effort, but it's very much worth the effort.